In this video, I want to go over some preventative maintenance tasks to keep your central AC system running at full capacity and keep operation costs low. In this tutorial, I am using a drill or a screwdriver, a vacuum, and some compressed air with a nozzle, but a can of compressed air will also work, as well as a garden hose with water. For the first step, I'm going to make sure the thermostat is set to off. Next, I'm going to inspect and or replace the filter. So this is typically right here, entering into the AC system right here. So right down here is where mine is. This should just slip out. There might be a few latches on it that you might have to move just to get it out of the way, but it typically just slides out like this. This one's clean because I replaced it a couple weeks ago. But if this is dirty, if you can't see through it and there's a bunch of dust on it, then definitely replace it. You don't have to replace it exactly every 3 months. That's just a guideline for typical use. So if it's clean or you're replacing it right now, to put it back in, make sure the arrow is pointing to the airflow. The air handler is inside here. She's a big fan, so I know the airflow is going that way. So I just put it in like this. Once it's seated, that's all you need to do. Next step, I'm going to remove these panels on the AC system. So these just turn like this, and then they can come off. Now all I'm going to do is get the bristle attachment on the vacuum and just very gently clean all inside on here with the vacuum. The goal is just to get all the loose dust and bugs that might have collected. For the circuit board right there, I would not suggest vacuum it directly just because you might remove one of the electronic components. I just want to stop the video right here. I keep on calling this the condenser. This is the evaporator. The water condenses and runs down here, but the actual coolant is what evaporates inside the coils here. So I keep on calling it condenser in the video, so please ignore that. It's actually the evaporator. Next step, I'm going to clean out the condenser. This is typically right above where the fan is. So the fan is down here. You might have a different type of furnace here, but directly above it is where the condenser will be. You'll be able to tell because these lines, these coolant lines will be running into it. So these are typically just held on with machine screws like this. So just find where they are and then you can remove them. So here's a close-up of the condenser right here. This is where the air will go by and water will condense down here. So there might be a little bit of rust. Be mindful you don't break the drainage. This will go over here and end up somewhere where it could drain safely. So this is basically just a radiator, just like in your car. So there are very fine aluminum fins here. Also be very careful with all of these connections. These are just soldered on. So if you crack these, it'll immediately start leaking coolant, which you definitely do not want. So to clean this condenser, I have my compressed air. I'm just going to blow it in here, all around here with the vacuum on. So it'll collect all the dust that's blown loose. I'm not going to get here too much because I don't want to risk hitting anything. Just be very careful that you don't bump into something while you're doing this. Once the condenser and the internals have been dusted off, return all of the panels like they were. Make sure these are turned and also make sure that any switches are definitely activated right here. Otherwise it won't be able to run without these depressed. Next step, I'm going to clean all of the return vents. This is where air gets sucked in and gets blown out by the fan. So you definitely want to make sure this is completely clean of dust. Otherwise it's making the fan work much harder. If you want to remove these two screws right here, there's probably a big collection of dust right on the inside as well. Next, I'm going to go outside to the condenser and remove the fan. Then I'm going to spray all around on the inside. I'm going to focus on the fins of the condenser itself. The goal here is just to remove all the embedded dust in between the fins. Once I've done the inside, then I'm going to do the exact same to the outside. After spraying it, you shouldn't be able to see any dirt embedded within the fins. Once done, I'm now going to resecure the fan and make sure the blades can still rotate. Thanks for watching.